y'all? It's your boy Nick, and sorry this is my usual setup if you're new to the channel. I I broke my SD card on accident, so I'm filming this off my iPhone. I got my little audio set up. I hope this looks good enough. I hope this sounds good enough. Whatever. Job doesn't stop. We're gonna keep this going. But let's talk about the Conjuring Last Rites. So I just got back from the movie theater, and I'm glad this is over. They're promoting this as the last Conjuring movie in this franchise, at least the last Conjuring movie that stars Ed and Lorraine Warren. Do I think this is the absolute end of the franchise? Absolutely not. Annabelle's gonna go to Paris or something like that. Something's gonna happen. This franchise has been going on for too long. Y'all know how Hollywood is. They like established franchises. I don't think this is really gonna end. I'm not really the biggest fan of this franchise as a whole. Like, for me, I don't really find these movies scary. I'm way too depressed to be scared by any sort of movie like this. But just a heads up, we are talking spoilers, so if you have not seen this movie yet, come back later. But The Conjuring Last Rites is the last Conjuring in this franchise, at least as of now. This is going to be the final story of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and I feel like this should have been over a long time ago. Like, I've watched all these movies 2 years ago. I watched this entire franchise. I've seen every film in this series outside of The Nun 2, which I think came out last year. And I don't really like these movies. Now, let me be fair. The Conjuring 1 is a great movie. I saw that movie years ago, like, whenever, I don't know how long ago that came out. I saw that movie years ago. I liked it back then. I watched it again like 2 years ago. To me, still a great movie. Conjuring 1, great. Conjuring 2, I think 2 was the one with, I'll post a picture of it, or at least the one that I'm thinking about. I think it's Conjuring 2. I actually thought that movie was pretty good. Nothing great, nothing special, but, you know, it was cool. Every other movie in this franchise is garbage. Like, the rest of the Conjuring movies, in my opinion, trash. All the Annabelle movies are trash. I will say the doll itself, Annabelle, kind of creepy. Like, I know this is a movie. Even if I was on the film set, I wouldn't really want to interact with that doll too much because I'm black and I don't play with stuff like that. But the Annabelle movies are trash. The Nun, do we even need to talk about The Nun? I haven't seen the second one. The first one, hot garbage. But The Conjuring Last Rites is being promoted as a movie that changed Ed and Lorraine's career. This is the case that ended their career. This movie is so scary. This movie is only scary if you probably never seen a scary movie in your life, but I don't want to bash this movie too much, so let me try to talk about some of the positives. Patrick and Vera, to nobody's surprise, continue to kill their role as Ed and Lorraine Warren. Even though, like I said, I don't like a majority of these movies, their characters are like the only bright spots in these movies, in my opinion. Like, I love them as a character. Like, even when I see them at other projects, I'm like, yo, that's Ed and Lorraine. The whole family dynamic in this movie, I didn't really care about, but there was some fun moments. Like, they introduced this new character, the boyfriend, Tony. He had, I've been there before with the guy that's meeting the family and stuff like that. Even though he's extremely bold, this is the first time that he's meeting Judy's parents, and he's asking them for permission to marry their daughter that they've only been dating for 6 months. So even though that's not what I really wanted to see with this movie, I did find the family dynamic, especially at the beginning of the movie, I thought that was pretty nice. Now, when it comes to horror movies, for me, I like the more subtle kind of stuff. Like, I'll talk about jump scares in a second. I don't like jump scares. I like the more subtle kind of horror. Like, for example, like the dinner scene, they were at the restaurant and the mom and Judy, they were having their visions, and you could see the hand slowly move away off Judy's shoulders. I like stuff like that. For the mom that lived in Pennsylvania in that haunted house when she was walking around on the phone and somebody was like tugging on the phone cord, I like that. That creepy doll, I don't really like dolls. That creepy doll that was crawling around named Susie that kept asking for mama, when it wasn't doing like the over the top, the demonic stuff, when it was just being creepy, like normal, I liked that. But outside of that, that's really kind of the only stuff that I liked about this movie. Like, I feel like they had a good story here to tell, but they didn't go far enough with it. Like, this movie felt more like a family drama with horror sprinkled throughout it. This movie is over 2 hours long, and the main thing that I wanted to see was the Warrens take this case and help the family. It took them forever to get to that family's home, and when they did get there, it was underwhelming. So at the beginning of the movie, we see a young Ed and Lorraine, a pregnant Lorraine, I should add. These two go on an investigation. They go and they try to help this girl out. She's saying that she's being haunted. I believe her dad or her grandfather hung himself in the middle of their store. So they go and investigate Lorraine. She's pregnant during this time. They find this creepy mirror. Lorraine touches it, it breaks, and then she has a demon baby. The baby is born dead, and then it comes alive after Lorraine and Ed are praying over their child. but the demon wants his baby. So fast forward, this family of 8 living in Pennsylvania was being haunted after their grandparents gifted one of their daughters a new mirror. This mirror was bringing demonic activity to their home, as it's the same mirror that Ed and Lorraine experienced the night that Judy was born. First off, why are you going on demonic investigations while you're pregnant? But this movie and this style of movie, I feel like this is something that you either really like or you really don't. And I don't. I hate jump scares. I say that all the time. I think jump scares are cheap. I think jump scares are lazy. Jump scares aren't scary to me. For a lot of these movies like Conjuring, for Insidious, you kind of learn to know the formula and you know when things are going to happen, because for the most part, these movies are build up, jump scare, build up. So when they aren't doing the lazy jump scares, they're doing stuff that's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, we get a scene of a giant Annabelle doll chasing Judy down the hallway. Like, the big climax of this movie, the big ending of this film, the case that ended it all, was just a family getting pushed down the hallway by a mirror. It was a point in this movie where the mirror started levitating. It just started spinning like a helicopter. I was so terrified watching this movie. And I know these movies are based on real life cases, but like with anything based on a true story, I know they sprinkle some extra sauce on top of it. The scares for the most part in this movie are very predictable. You know when a lot of them are coming. The Warrens, I feel like they dealt with this case for like 20 minutes. This movie is 2 hours long. I feel like they dealt with this case for like 25 minutes, something like that. The storyline being so focused around their daughter, Judy, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Like, I don't think Judy was a bad character. I just feel like they could have done that better. Like, Judy was having a lot of these visions about the Annabelle doll and stuff like that, but I don't feel like that had anything to do with the demon in this movie. That was just kind of a lasting effect from the previous movies. Like, it's a lot of, I ain't gonna say a lot, but it's some callbacks if you've seen the other movies throughout this film. Back to the end of the movie, Judy defeated the demons, 3 of them. She defeated the demons by simply saying, "You're not there." I wish life was that simple. I got some girls in my past, I wish I could just say that about them. Early in the movie, they made sure to note that Ed was having these heart issues, and I thought that would have played a bigger role down the line, but that didn't really go anywhere. I feel like it was only 2 scenes where we really saw Ed struggling with his heart. It was early in the movie at the cookout after playing ping pong. He was there. He was kind of like he had to calm himself down. And then later in the movie, when demonic Judy touched him on the chest and then he fell down, that was really it. And then even in that case, I mean, he was only down and out for like a few minutes. I feel like he popped a perk and then he was right back to normal. For all the trailers, all the commercials, all the promos, they made it kind of seem like the case was the reason that the Warrens stopped doing all these investigations, but it was kind of just a heart issue. I mean, outside of the mental toll, it seemed more like a health reason. It wasn't the fact that this case was just so crazy this was the thing that made them stop. But this movie just felt bloated, and with the scares, again, you can always tell when they're about to happen because it's the same thing. Build up, jump scares. I'm not gonna jump scare you this time. I just wanted more of them actually helping the family and actually being involved in this case, because this was just a family drama that just so happened to be in like a horror universe. They only took this case for like 20 minutes of this movie, 25 minutes of this movie. I kept checking my phone like, damn, when are the Warrens gonna meet this family? And the thing that I always find so funny with these movies, why are demons like such assholes? Like, these demons, they blowing out birthday candles, they pulling on phone cords, they cutting lights off. Like, that's one of the reasons why I don't get scared of these movies, because the main thing that I'm thinking about is, why are you being such a dick? The Conjuring Last Rites is projected to make around $75 million in its opening weekend. This franchise is definitely getting more movies. On Rotten Tomatoes, has a critic score of 55% and a fan rating of 78%. For my score, I'm more with the critics on this one. I'm going to give this movie a 5, which is an average on my scale. This movie isn't great. This movie isn't, honestly, I don't think this movie is good, but it's also not the worst thing that I've ever seen. It's average. The Warren family was interesting enough to keep my attention, but the scares just wasn't there. Like, I wanted more of them on the case that allegedly ended their career, and that ending boss fight, if you want to call it that, weak as hell. But this franchise is very popular, so maybe I'm tripping. Like, to me, a movie like Weapons or a movie like Together is much better than this. If you haven't seen those movies yet, go watch those. and then watch my review. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things in this channel. What are your thoughts on this movie? Am I tripping? Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this style, the jump scare style. Like me, I like weapons. I like Together. I like a movie like the original Strangers, not the remake. I like stuff like that. Like, to me, the jump scares just every 2 seconds, not really my thing. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, if you're new here, sorry, this isn't my usual setup. I need to figure out my camera situation. I need to make sure it's not just my SD card, and make sure that my camera's not completely jacked up. But thank you guys again for watching. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Love you guys as always. Remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life, and hopefully see you with my regular camera. Love you guys.